How you doing to all my folks, my friends, my acquaintances out there in YouTubeville, YouTube land, motherfuckers? It's been a while. Stony Lonesome has no guitar right now. It's a long story. I'm not gonna get into it, but I've got something y'all might be interested in. Stony Lonesome's life story, right from beginning till end. It's gonna take a few videos and a few hours, but let's go for it. The name on my birth certificate is Shane Calvin Whiting, Shainne, Calvin, Calvin, Whiting, Whiting, May 24th, 1970. I'll be 51 in a month. But Stony Lonesome is who I am when I've got my guitar in my hands. Bottom line is, forget about Shane Calvin Whiting. You all know me as Stony Lonesome, and that's who you're going to refer to me as. Because if you don't, I won't reply at all. Yeah, I got a YouTube channel. It's called Stony's House, where you'll find 3 or 4 of my actual videos where I'm showing the YouTube people that it's possible to play the guitar without having a clue with what the fuck's going on with your fingers and what you're doing on the fretboard. Sirens all the time. It's where I live. Boom, boom. Fuck off, fuckers. Hope you hit a pole. Anyways, I've also got about 12 of my songs. All you'll find is a picture of my pretty face. And then it's one of my songs. They're all incredible. Stony's House. All one word, apostrophe between the Y and the S. I don't know if being case sensitive matters, but it's spelled uppercase, each and every letter. But I was born in this city in Toronto back in 1970 from a woman named Candace Whiting, who would later die under the last name Mossop. My grandfather, her father, my grandfather, Ronald Paul Whiting, was the rock, my best friend, till the day he died, the day I was living with him. We'll get into that. My Nana Arlene, God bless you, Nanny, she's dead. My great auntie Edith Whiting, she's dead, God bless her soul. Got a couple uncles, Uncle Blair, Uncle Kelly, Uncle Lindsay. I got an aunt, Aunt Jane, you'll hear about her, you'll hear about Kelly, you'll hear about Lindsay big time. 2 siblings, Shauna, she's 2 years younger, and Brett, 2 years older. You'll hear enough about them also. I'm an animal lover all the way. The Maple Leafs, that's where it starts. I bleed blue and white blood. But I'm a huge Jays fan, I'm a huge Raptors fan. Go teams, go. So Mama spit me out in 1970, May, almost 11 pounds, 10 pounds and some odd ounces. That was my weight at birth. I am now at the age of 51, 5'8", 135 pounds, whatever, and man, 51, it's just a number. I don't look it, I guess. I've been told I don't feel it, I don't act it. But anyways, my father, his name was Claudio Cellini. He was full-blooded Calabrese Italian. My mom was Irish. I never met my pops. Claudio left when I was in diapers, which is odd because Italian fathers are not known to leave their kids behind, especially their sons. That's one thing about the WAPs, the Italians, is family means a hell of a lot to them. That just tells you right there. My mom might have been a little crazy. My brother and my sister, all 3 of us were born with different fathers. My mom might have been a little promiscuous. We'll get into that later. So born in Humberside Memorial. I think it's in the Keele Lawrence area, something like that. My brother was obviously born first, then I was born, then my sister. Just remember living in many places. My my great auntie Edie. Most of the time of my youth, my childhood, me and my brother spent with my auntie Edie. My uncle Norman was there too, her brother. I wasn't that close to him. It was auntie. She was also my rock, along with my grandfather. See, what happened was my mom, Candace, she wanted a little girl. She wanted to name her Shauna. She didn't want any boys, but unfortunately, my brother Brett, and then myself, Stony, Lonesome, we came along first, and then my sister showed up. Well, once my mother had her little girl, her little baby daughter, Shauna, Brett and I were fucked. From that moment on, Mom just forgot all about us. Sent us off for the most part to my great auntie Edie's. That's just remember where I'd been all my childhood. Like little. God bless auntie. She was so clean and pure. I just remember being 3 and 4 and 5, and when she used to bathe me, she'd bathe me in my underwear. She wouldn't want me to be naked. I think that's kind of cute, kind of cool. I don't remember if I wanted to be naked or not myself, but I don't know. But my brother Brett was a goofy fuck. He was a brute. Broken bones. Yeah, my brother was not very nice to me. He was very unkind and very brutal. Like I said, he broke my arm as I grew a little older. Living with my mom, we had bunk beds. He'd come in and get a pillow and cover my face until I lost consciousness. And each time I thought I was going to die. Well, at least when you're 5, 6, 7 years old, that's the thought that enters your brain when you can't breathe. Then you wake up wondering, what the fuck happened? Or he'd set the top bunk up. He had the top. He'd set it up so that when he climbed up the ladder and jumped on the top of the bed, the chipboard or whatever the fuck the mattress is on would all come crashing down on me, and I'd end up bleeding somewhere on my face or body almost every single time. He started fucking laughing. He'd start jumping up and down on the bed while the chipboard and the bed were on. Yeah, fuck him. We'll get into him a little later. Yeah, my youth, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I guess, was spent mostly with my auntie Edie. A couple years, I guess. That would be 78, 79, 80 maybe. I spent with my brother, my sister, myself, and my mom, and Jane and Finch. In 1980, my mother and myself, I just remember we went for a bus ride or a taxi ride or something, and we ended up in a building. We were in a room, and it was her and me and 3 or 4 men, which I now know to be lawyers and judges and Catholic Children's Aid representatives. My mother signed, everyone else signed, and then I signed, and then from that moment on, little did I know that my mom had given complete and total responsibility of me and my life over to the state, to the city, to the government, to the Catholic Children's Aid. I became a crown ward, not just a ward, but a crown ward. A ward is where you're sent off, your parents or your mom or whatever don't want you, but she still is legally your mom. A crown ward is where your mother or whoever signs you over, and legally she has no say. She is no longer your your authoritative figure, your parent. She had no say, no rights with whatever happened to me, and decisions were made by many, many more people, strangers. We'll get into that a bit later. But yeah, growing up mostly at my auntie's, Cap'n Crunch was my favorite cereal, still is. It was always on hand whenever Aunt. She'd always say, Shane, what do you want for supper? Brussels sprouts was my favorite vegetable, still is. I loved it at Auntie's until Brett and I started. Fuck. I'd attempt to play and he'd join in, and then boom, it would start. This is 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. I just remember every picture that I ever seen of me and Brett together. I was always up front and Brett was behind me. His face was like that, staring right at the back of my head. Well, that facial expression is what I put up with physically for many years, until the age of 17, when we had our last fight and I left him on the ground on his ass. I walked away. Champion. I walked away winner. Finally. But, yeah, I don't remember much of Auntie's except Cap'n Crunch, Brussels sprouts, mashed potatoes, cream and mushroom soup, my toys, the TV, my Auntie Edie, my brother, beating me up. So I'm a little older now. It's 7, 8, or 9, whatever. Now him and I are back at my mom's with my sister, and Shauna's getting all the love, and Brett and I are getting on, and kind of sucks. And I tried to have a relationship with my brother a couple times. We were at a school somewhere in Toronto. He was getting beat up, and I'd stick in, I'd jump in, and I'd get my head smashed off the marble stairs a bunch of times. And yeah, but so getting back to the Catholic Children's Aid Society, in 1980, I became a Crown Ward of the CCAS, and from that moment on, my first residence was a place called Delcrest on Shepherd. Don't remember much about it. Just remember a building, my bedroom, Lego set, and a bunch of strangers, staff, I don't know, fuck. And from then, for the next 6 years, I've been to another 10 or 15 places. Was abused sexually, physically, mentally, emotionally. It wasn't fun. Yeah, my mom gave me up. Brett was 12. He either moved out or she kicked him out at the age of 12. So now it's just her and her sister and her daughter, Shauna. That's how she wanted it. That's what she got. Well, from Delcrest, I think from there I went to a place called Fairmount Group Home or Youth Boys or something. I don't know. I just remember this really sexy staff woman. She used to piggyback me all the time so I could look down her top. She had beautiful tits. I was born for girls, believe me. Yeah, that's the way I swing. It's the only way I've swung, and God bless women that aren't shy. Let's put it that way. I was born for it. Me and my sister. Yeah, I'm sure there's many other brothers and sisters out there that did the same. That are just pussies and don't want to talk about it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm 5 and 6 or 6 and 7, and she's a year and a half or so younger, and we'd be playing Doctor House, and I'd be going down on her and experimenting with her little muffin, with my tongue and my lips and my fingers, but nothing really penetrating. Just it was very, very cool. Yeah. Then I think it was 77 when I was 7 or 8, 77 or 78. We were my mom was living in a house somewhere in Toronto, and my Aunt Jane was there staying for a bit. I'm just a kid, not even fucking 10 yet. My aunt takes me to the basement. She takes off all her clothes, and is it rape or molestation? I don't know, but she took advantage of me. I knew what was going on, and I fucking loved it. My aunt was 15 years older. I'm only 7, 8. But here I am going down on my fucking mother's sister, my Aunt Jane. I'm just a little baby. I'm a boy. She's a woman. I loved it. Oh, that pussy. It was great. But yeah, it's serious. She raped me or molested me, whatever you want to call it. How you going to do that to your little nephew? who's only 7, and he's eating your pussy, and you're 25, or however the fuck old she was. Yeah, but I enjoyed myself. She enjoyed herself. Yep. I don't share my story with many people at all because what I've got to say is mostly unbelievable. People aren't going to believe me. But I am telling you no lies. Everything I'm telling you is the truth. May the truth set you free, they say. Can I pause this and then restart? Or if I stop it, will I have to start again? That's the pause button. Yeah, I'm back. Stony lonesome. It's about 1 in the morning, otherwise I'd let off one of my metal screams, yeah. Axl Rose, Sebastian Bach, what? I put them in their place right fast. On the other hand, I can get right tender and soft with my voice, with my vocals at the same time. Where were we? Yeah, these videos definitely ain't for kids. Does that change the eyes a little bit? A little. So my Aunt Jane, yeah. And after that, from that moment on, whenever we were alone, my aunt had a great ass. I was born an ass man. I am the only ass man on this planet. How many people is there? 6.5, 7 billion? Many want to think they're the ass man, but I'm the one and only ass man. Because when I see a woman, physically, it's the ass that gets to me. I'm not lying. She could have fallen from like 10 ugly trees in a row, like one straight after the other, and then put through the ringer. As long as she's got that fucking ass, oh, I'm hooked. I don't understand, like, cause women have asses and men have asses, and I got a great ass. I'm not gonna get naked or nothing. I'm just gonna. Give it a little see that cheek? Yeah, all my life, women have been telling me, and unfortunately, men have been telling me, but Jane's ass, it's just how I was born. And when I'm getting with a girl, with a woman, if I can't have any part of her ass at all, like if I can't at least kiss the bum cheeks or just gently put my face in right on the crack of her bum and just kind of wiggle her cheeks, if I can't have, then I can't, then it's just not going to work. But anyways, from that moment, from that time, from the basement with Jane and my Aunt Jane and myself, from that moment on, whenever we were alone, I wouldn't even, I'd just walk up to her and start caressing her ass cheeks and shit. And I'm only, 7, 8 years old? And it was great. Do I remember getting, I don't think I was getting hard on. I think I was still too young, but, yeah. I was playing hooky back then, and my buddy, my cousin, he wasn't blood cousin, but he was my Lorna and my mother Candace my mother was bi, so she was with this other woman named Lorna. I ended up calling her Auntie Lorna because they were close, and I was close with her son and daughter, Christopher and Crystal. Excuse me, mom Candace were having a love thing. I said, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But anyways, this one time, Christopher and I were playing hooky. Now, I just remember the house we were staying at had green in it, and there was a big tree in the back that I loved, climbing right straight to the top. I was the only one that could make it to the top. I'm one of them types. I was born with anything with a stick, wheels, blades, ball. I touch anything sporty, and it's like I was doing it already for 10 years. Athletically, very, very gifted. Faster than fuck. Even at the age of 51 right now, I say maybe for a block and a half, or for from street light to street light, like the long one, ain't no one catching me from that distance. But that's when I drop to the ground and say, from smoking the crack and the cigarettes all my life. After that, I can't breathe and I'm done. But ain't no one catching me for a block and a half. I don't care who you are. But anyways, we played hooky one. He said, yeah, we were playing hooky one day from school. And at the end of the street, at the very far end, just before the park, on my side where the house was, there was a German Shepherd, a big German Shepherd that was always out front on a chain, connected to a post or something. We were getting closer, and Christopher crossed the other side of the street because he was afraid of the dog. I said, Christopher, don't be such a pussy. I'm 7 or 8 years old, and I'm all, so what are you afraid of, man? It's just a nice doggy, German Shepherd. And I said, you know what? I don't remember if the dog looked happy or... I just know he was always constant. He walked by. I don't remember the tail wagging. I don't think I remember. Anyways, I believe there's one there. There's one there. There's one there. I go up to the dog and Christopher's yelling, Shane, don't, man, don't go near the dog. I said, don't, you're just fuck off, pussy. I went to pet the dog. Before you know it, I'm 8 or 9, so I'm like, I don't know, 4 foot something. I just remember the dog didn't have to jump. He just went on his hind legs and latched onto my cheek real hard. I guess I kind of instantly went into shock because I just stood still. I think I was thinking, all I know is if I would have made any movement with my head at all, my cheek was gone. I don't know. I don't remember being in pain. I just remember standing there. I just remember eventually the dog letting go. And me fucking off right fast. Running home, then slowly walking, and the blood is, and Christopher is freaking. The blood was, I didn't have a t-shirt. The blood was, I was bleeding so heavily. I went, I don't know, ran home. My mom seen it, my sister, they started flipping, and then I don't remember much. Don't remember being at the hospital. I remember coming home, bandaged up, and my mom taking off the bandage. And I remember seeing 6 big, that would have been big holes in my face, stitched up, and the swelling, and all I can remember saying and all I cared about was the dog. I said, Mommy, how's they did? She said, Shane, they put the doggy to sleep. I said, what do you mean? I said, the dog's dead. And I started to cry. I wept for that dog. Meanwhile, that dog tried eating me. But to this day, and there's one more incident that we'll get to later on with another German Shepherd, another King Shepherd, another serious incident we'll get to, but I still love dogs. The mistake some people make going to say hi to a dog they don't know is going in face first. No. First and foremost, you make sure the dog has a wagging tail. That kind of helps. Make sure the dog is not showing his frontal canines or whatever the fuck you call them, long, sharp killing teeth. If the dog looks somewhat happy, you slowly go to him Keep eye contact, but not straight, not eyes on eyes, because the dog will take that as an aggressive act. Make the eye contact and look away a little, back and forth, a couple seconds with the eye contact. And hi, guy, a lot of talk, hand out first, let the dog do his thing. Then eventually, yes, you'll know. Some people make the mistake of going up to a dog that's not even wagging his tail, and going down on the one knee to pet it. All of a sudden, you're face level and boom, shit's hitting the fan. Anyways, yeah, I remember looking in the mirror and my face was all fucked, but I remember running into the house. I remember the blood. I remember my sister Shauna freaking my mom, but Shauna, oh, Shauna! I was losing a lot of blood fast. I guess I was unconscious before the ambulance arrived because anyways, yeah, I got 1, 2, there's at least 3 vivid scars on my face. Yeah, I already showed you. If you can see them, you can't, whatever. If you were here in person, looking at me up close, you'd see the scars. I think it was a King Shepherd, yeah, and I cried when I found out they killed the dog. As for that tree in the back of the house, my mom at this time was seeing a man, a painter, professional painter. His name was Kenny Mossop. He was a good man. Up until then, the other boyfriend she had that she would slap her around, would smack me. But Kenny was a good man. He missed a little work here and there. I think he ran his own show. I remember him being at home a lot, drinking beers. I remember him at work a lot, making money. I just remember this one time I'm up in the tree. I made it. I was with my cousin Christopher. He can make it halfway, but I'm up to the top because I was better than anyone else back then. So athletically gifted. Coming down, I slipped. Boom, boom, boom. Branch. By the grace of Kenny, caught me by my fucking head, by my neck. He caught me. I don't know why my neck didn't snap and I break, but he caught me by my head or my neck, by something like that, before I hit the ground. And he saved me, saved my life. I guess hitting the last few branches slowed me down enough for him to catch me like that, therefore allowing my neck not to break. But yeah, I had a few scratches and some bruises. But